As we consider the prospect of a diplomatic breakthrough here, it seems once again the two sides, at least in public, are talking past each other, both suggesting that one side has agreed to something, the other side says absolutely not. Do you have any sense of whether real forward progress is being made?
So I do think that the fact that the negotiations are ongoing remains a positive sign. And fundamentally, at the end of the day, this is only going to be resolved through negotiation, not through military force, regardless of whether the president chooses to revert to that or not. I do find it concerning, though, in the statements coming out of the cabinet meeting, that the president has again reverted to very maximalist positions that make it much harder, I think, for him to walk back from in a domestic sense, saying things like it's not enough to destroy the nuclear material in the country. It has to be shipped out. That's very difficult to do. And on the point of economic relief, that is indeed Iran's number one requirement, some sort of relief of economic pressure. And so fundamentally, again, as your correspondent just said, this is a negotiation between two parties. Both of them have agency, and there's going to have to be some amount of concession given by both sides in order to bring this over the finish line.
Well, it's always great to spend some time with you, Jen. I just checked while you were talking. Last time you joined us here on Balance of Power was 3 weeks ago when the Iran war hit the 60-day mark. Has anything actually changed in that period of time?
No, very little. And I think that this is a reflection of, what President Trump is grappling with right now, which is competing instincts. On one hand, to cut his losses. Again, going back to the idea that this conflict is not going to be won militarily. And so you can walk away and try to get whatever you can out of these negotiations, or you can return to armed conflict, which he again suggested today he might be willing to do. And to your point, Joey's been recommending this or suggesting that this might be in the cards for the last several weeks. I think the fact that hasn't happened yet, though, is a reflection of the reality that it would not fundamentally change the calculus. And so I think we're stuck in this limbo of the perfect being the enemy of the good, frankly.
Well, what is the good as you would define it, Jen? As the president continually says he's not going to make a deal if it's not a great one. What do you think is the best the United States can hope for at this point?
So I do think that a strategic victory here is going to prove extremely elusive. Probably the best that can be hoped for at this point is that the Strait of Hormuz is opened without conditions and that global trade recommences largely at the scale eventually at which it was 12, 13 weeks ago when this all began. I think in order for the president to strike a deal, for this to not be kind of a strategic loss for the United States, there will also have to be some progress on the nuclear issue. But if that progress looks like agreement to push out enrichment timelines for a period of a number of years, and to give up in some way, not necessarily shipping out of the country, those massive stockpiles of highly enriched uranium, I think that is probably about as good as it's going to get, especially combined with the fact that the United States military has indeed done significant damage to Iran's drone and missile programs. Those will be rebuilt in time, and that will continue to be a concern, just like it will continue to be a concern that Iran can wield the weapon that is now the Strait of Hormuz at time of its choosing in the future. So the options are fairly limited, but so are the options for fundamentally changing that calculation.
We haven't mentioned Israel yet, Jen. Before you leave us, how important is the activity that we're seeing, the continued fighting between Israel and Lebanon, and will that be what keeps a deal from being struck?
This is extremely consequential. Prime Minister Netanyahu has reportedly told his advisors that he's frustrated by the lack of leverage that he has over President Trump, and has been openly concerned about the parameters of the rumored deal that is taking shape. And to be clear, whatever quibbling happens over that deal, that will continue to be the case. For Israel, this will not be the outcome that they wanted. And so with very little leverage directly, and with Iran having tied a more permanent ceasefire in Lebanon, to its willingness to make a deal with the United States, that is leverage that Prime Minister Netanyahu can wield. Certainly, Hezbollah has done its part in this conflict, having launched well over 100 rockets into northern Israel. But both parties, Prime Minister Netanyahu and Hezbollah, have good reason in their own minds, for their own reasons, to play the spoiler in this, and that is, I think, what we're seeing play out now.